Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, coming to you from a frosty Eastern Tennessee, specifically Chucky, Tennessee. I still have to get used to that name. It could have like a really nice name. Like we're next to like a very famous part of Tennessee called Limestone, which has made like that was actually the name of a title of a movie. It's like known for the Old West. But no, we're in Chucky. But anyway, but the name doesn't give it justice. It's a beautiful place, and I'm very happy that I'm here. So good morning, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, mi gente. Aquí con la Margarita, your gladiator guru. In chilly Tampa, sweater last night to be outside. It was double sweater because I just don't have a thick one here. And it feels good, but the air feels weird. Of course, it's a whole other topic with me. The sound of no noise in the wind. And this is, I guess it's everywhere. But yes, good morning. Happy Thursday in the middle of December already. I could remember December 1st as if it just happened 2 days ago. That's the killer. Now, everybody, good morning, Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Look at Badass Buddha, the roaring 20s. It's like she's going to the speakeasy. Watch my favorite Billie Holiday play and sing. So
yeah, I wasn't feeling, I mean, I'm still not feeling great. You can hear it, but I just wasn't, but I was awful after the show on Tuesday. I literally went to bed right after and slept most of the day. And thank goodness, because I needed it. But today I'm still not feeling 100%, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put the extra effort in to actually look a little bit more presentable. I mean, I put the earrings in, you know.
Yeah, I see you're pearled out, baby.
And but also too, because I also wanted to honor today's a special day. Today is my, we lost my dad 1 year ago today.
Wow.
So I sort of wanted to make the effort too to just honor him. And considering the fact that my father loved to dress up as a woman and go all out, I figured I owed it to him to dress up as a woman.
Ode to Frank.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, two things I love about what you just said. Honoring him, and wow, it's been a year already. And that you're so candid about your reality. And I think if we always do that, there won't be no embarrassments, no nothing. It is what it is, what it is. And I'm gonna get to you before you get to me, and then it's done. I love it. And I love that he was a clown like that, because why judge? It's just something he probably made you laugh like hell, right?
Oh yeah, no, he did it. Yeah, no, he didn't do it because he liked.
Yeah, he didn't do it in the closet. He actually did it just to be a clown.
He did, exactly. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was always he was always, it was always his intention to be funny.
You see,
he really liked to make people laugh, and when he didn't make people laugh, you can see it bothered him, or if they didn't get his jokes. He could be a little risque sometimes. He wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but he couldn't understand when people wouldn't understand his humor. We have to say to him like, Dad, that's not appropriate for. Oh, why not? But it got worse as he got older and he got more forgetful, because he would really have no filter, and he would like upset people sometimes.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to load our page. Okay. I'm sorry. That was so. I'm trying to copy it to Facebook. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
No, it's not. Not when you're talking about that. But you know what? That when a parent can teach you that just be yourself, whether you're mocked or not, I think that is one of the best lessons that we forget as we grow up and we want to impress all these other outside people, and then our parents become embarrassing. And I just think that's something that we do need to reach back sometimes and pull that branch forward, because it was an abundance of learning and teachings in that. So that's beautiful for you to say. But a year already, wow. I was talking, I think it was Iris or somebody the other day, and on the 7th made 3 years for my brother's wife who passed away. And She passed away as they were driving to Florida with the
Oh
kids
my
in the
God, in
car.
the
and
car?
everything. Yeah, in the car in North Carolina. And they were coming here because my niece had cheerleading championships. You know how the schools in Ansonia and Shelton, if they join, then they come to the big thing, Hoorah, in Orlando. So her biggest fear was, how is she going to react? How is she going to deal with my husband's passing? And she dies 3 months before him. And it's like, that's why we should never worry about what's going to happen, because we're robbing ourselves of that very moment that we are alive in. And when I told Eric, it was a shock to all of us. And Eric just cried and cried like a baby. And we were all worried because, he's paralyzed and the crying can hinder. But he just cried. And then I was like, we're just celebrating her 7 years in eternity. I said, and then in 3 months, I celebrate Eric's 7 years. Like, where does the time go? Like it's just so. Our topic today is about out with the old, right, and in with the sexy new. And the sexy new can be you deciding to get up early enough and watch the sunrise, or make sure you're at a place to watch the sky turn those vibrant, crispy orange colors as the sun is setting. It can be anything that's going to make you enjoy your life exactly where you are right now. And if you're not enjoying all your choices, at least make one choice a day where it's going to bring your soul at peace. And I think that's what, you opening in this with your dad, which, you had how many years with him?
Let's see, 53, 52 years with him. Yeah. So, and I got to spend a lot of time with him, which was great, because I became his part-time caregiver. I got, and I was able to talk with him a lot. But it's really hard to watch your family member pass away. It's hard to put them in hospice and watch them just deteriorate, like in days and weeks. I reflect on that often, and I say to myself, while I'm blessed to have been there, it was also very heartbreaking to watch it. But it also puts things in different perspective for you, though, because when you when you see death, and especially like with your sister-in-law, when it's unexpected, like my uncle, the same thing happened with my mother's youngest brother, the youngest. I mean, he was really young compared to the rest of his siblings, and he used to say all the time, like, I don't know what I'm going to do when everybody passes away, like all his siblings pass away. And he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. He used to say that all the time. And then lo and behold, he passes away before everybody. And I just thought that was quite interesting. You have to be very careful about what you say.
Yeah, that's putting curses on yourself.
But the beauty of this is to look at this and say, we are not here forever. We don't really know how long we are here for. We don't know what's going to happen. So we need to start now and make the best of our lives. We have to throw out those old granny panties with the holes in them and put on the sexy new Victoria's Secret, if you want to spend that money. But the beautiful new stuff that we can walk out proudly and take hold of our lives and enjoy these moments. It doesn't have to be radical, like we've talked about this before. Like, you don't have to like go skydiving and do all this crazy stuff that, I have to do this because I'm not afraid. It's you have to decide what makes you happy. If being home makes you happy because you love your house and you love the gardens you've created and you love being there and you love having people over, then do it. Really get into it. Don't sit on the couch all the time and watch TV. Just get out, enjoy your yard, your house, invite people over, have people over for coffee, come and chat with me. You don't have to be traveling everywhere. That's not everybody's shtick, So, but the key thing is you you have got to decide what makes you happy, and you've got to live you. So put on that get rid of the old and put on those new sexy, because we're never too old to be sexy, and there's nothing wrong with being sexy. Our definition of sexy is all different, but it's
Mm-hmm.
about getting rid of that old and bringing in the new and the stuff that best represents you.
Yes, because you and that's why the whole month, the whole year that we set up to do Viva was about growing that special one of a kind garden, which is you. We started it from last January, Melissa, and that was our purpose with how we set up the months and what they were called and each program up until the end of this year. And because sexy to some is just putting on a velvety, matted red lipstick. You know, it's putting your mascara on before leaving the house with chapstick. You know, it's I'm glad the badass Buddha said everybody's definition of sexy, but you gotta learn who you are to know what it is you need. Because when you do that, you stop depending on people, places, and things, and you always come back home to you. Because as we started the conversation with, you know, taking a moment of silence for Frank Monaco, you know, we only die once, but every day that we wake up, we get to live another life.
Yes.
We get to choose a different path. We get to elect what we will allow into our space. So it's, you got to live it well. And the seeds that we gave out at the beginning of the year through trials and tribulations of our own and learning and going along and getting conversations from you guys is that, you know, it's all about you. It's always been about you. And those moments that you can have memories from that we can pull out the backpack. But then that olive branch that we left way, way back yonder, that we do have to reach back and grab and bring it into our present so we can enjoy where we are right now and bask in the garden that we planted those seeds for ourselves. So that when we do leave the garden, because we have to attend to family or a job or whatever it is that we do, we have a home to come back to that's going to embrace it, that is going to fill us with warmth, that is going to recharge our batteries. And that's the sanctuary you need to create within yourself. Good morning, Maria. So, hi, Diana. So, yes. And then I guess we can do our mantra and then.
Yeah, let's set the intention. So, today, be intentional, you know, decide what that's going to be for you. It could be just a feeling, you know, I want to be happy today. I want to bring peace to people. I want to like, share, follow, and subscribe for Viva. That's an intention. You could do that. You can do that right now, actually. But be intentional and have a purpose for your day today, and then do it with
gratitude. Simple as that. Set an intention. Take a breath. And do it in gratitude that you were able to get up this morning, walk to the bathroom, wipe yourself, put your makeup on, watch, all of that. So do everything intentionally grateful.
That's right. All right. Now let's do our mantra. Say it loud and say it proud. Here we go. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I keep it real.
All day, no doubt.
I almost got it mixed up today because I'm still... It's so funny how when you get like a head cold and you're filled with all kinds of snot and mucus, well, it's like it totally flood, you know, like it makes your brain all like funky that you can't think. It's like there's too much snot up there, so the brain can't process properly. Now that you have that visual, aren't you happy that you two did?
Yes, all day. You know what? We got to take the good with the bad. That's what that's what it is. Yes. I like that. Make an intention to like, share, and subscribe. That was good.
And then with that, we lost 3 people, so this didn't work very well.
Listen, when you get up and you say your prayers of gratitude before your feet touch the floor, you're already shielded and protected. Then do a good stretch to the body. Wake up the body with love. Don't just jump up and run to the bathroom. Stretch your ankles out. Do this to your feet. Hold your feet up and do 10 times one way, 10 times the other. Release all the stagnant energy that has accumulated in your joints while you slept. Because when you just get up in the morning without being grateful, with no intentions of what it is that I'm doing, let me just get up. And you get up and you start walking in your body that has been still all night, aches, pains, even mood swings. So out with the old, let's get out with the old of what we're accustomed to doing to ourselves. All right? Treat yourself like a queen. You know what? You don't have the servants, but you have your you. So even, like I said, be thankful. Just say thank you. I have another day. I am grateful. And then stretch while you're laying in the bed. Stretch. I usually put my legs up. I do my yoga. I do 3 sets of 10, not much, but definitely do my feet 10 times one way, 10 times another. And you'll hear it go click, 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 click. It's all the ear might need to. Then when you get up, your body is prepared. And it's going to carry you throughout the day with whatever intention you set out to do. You know, we're a package deal. We're a mind, body, soul / spirit. We are a package deal to ourselves, yet we ignore a lot of what we are, who we are, when we set out on our day, because we got to do this for this. And we got to, I'm going to use the badass, for example. She got to get her child off to school. She got to let the dogs out. And whatever they did, she got to clean that. She got to, it's a whole thing. And that's fine when you have little children and you have pets. But before you initiate that, take 10 minutes for yourself. Give thanks before your feet hit that ground. Stretch, even if it is just laying in the bed. Stretch out, stretch your body, wake up, stretch. Stand up after you did your legs and your feet. And then, that's you putting on your Wonder Woman outfit. But you got to do for you what you expect how other people should treat you. How you assumed that because they're in your life, they need to love you this way. Because if they know me, then they know this is what I want. No, because you don't do that for yourself. So let's get out with that old. And let's bring in the new sexy, which is self-love. And then now the badass will take it away. Good morning, sister.
Take it away. And Jay Davidson. Again, this is about you deciding who you are. Seriously, like, how old are we now? Look what it's another year has gone by. It's almost ended. If you have not figured it out yet, we're not trying to make you feel bad. But if you have not figured it out yet, that means that you're not putting the time in. If you're in the process of figuring it out, good for you. And don't get hung up on how long it's taking. Sometimes it takes like months or years to figure it out. But as long as you're in the process, that's the key. If you are just not at all trying to figure yourself out and you keep doing the same things over and over again, then we got to talk, because that's enough already, because you cannot blame people anymore for the things that are happening in your life. You have got to really look at you. And I think that's the biggest piece with understanding self, is that accountability. If you hear yourself saying, well, it's because of this, this, and this, or it's because of that person, you've got to stop. You've got to stop and catch yourself saying it. Like my youngest one will say stuff like that. She loves to blame other people and situations for everything. And I'm on her on this. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you right now that if you do not take accountability for the role that you have played, you're going to be a very, you're going to live a really sad life. And I do not want her to become one of those kids that are very entitled. And I see she wavers, you know, some days she acts very entitled and other days she could be much more humble. And I try to map it out for her so that she makes the choice herself, that I'm not just dictating what she does, but I explain it to her. And you know, I look back and sometimes I say, I wish I was explained to me when I was younger, you know, like the difference in fitting in and becoming part of a group. Fitting in is you doing whatever needs to be done to fit into that group, whereas becoming a part of a group is you coming in with who you are and they accept you as you are, you become part of that group. And I was always the other person. I was always the one that would change myself to fit into whatever it was that was out there. When you really step into who you are and don't apologize for it, this is who I am. Yeah, I'm a little screwed up. You know, hello, here I am, but I'm working on me. And yep, I know those are my vulnerabilities. I know Gail was talking about that on Tuesday about vulnerabilities, and vulnerabilities are a big thing. You know, if we always try to hide them, you have to be careful with them, because if you're too vulnerable with the wrong people, they take advantage of that. They manipulate the situation. That's why you have to always be protective of your vulnerabilities until you're strong enough. And then when you're strong enough, then, you know, they're really not vulnerabilities anymore, because somebody says, oh, well, what about when you did this or you were this way? I'm like, yep, I was. That's true. And I'm not anymore, or I'm working on that, but it doesn't bother me anymore. But you have to be accountable. And the reason you want to be accountable is so that if I take responsibility for this, that means I can change it. If it's somebody else's fault, then I play the victim and then I lose my power. And that's the irony, is that a lot of people don't want to be accountable. They want to blame everybody else, not realizing that they are allowing themselves to become more powerless by doing that. Instead of taking, yep, that was me. And the only way to fix that is for me to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to decide what is really you, what's representing you. And we had you do that all year long, to look back and say, who am I? Who am I now? Who do I want to be? Am I living the life that I want to live? Am I happy? You know, am I, does this represent me the best way possible? And Gladiator Guru and I we're still a work in progress. You know, we always will be, I suppose, because, you know, it takes time. You learn more things about yourself. Every time you think you're hit that one spot, something else comes in. I didn't expect that. And you reacted a certain way. And then you say, all right, well, I guess I got to do a little bit more work on myself. But
what's the key word there? Is actually being truthful and honest with yourself. See, I hated the word authentic. I'm authentic. Walk, you know, just be authentic, authenticity. It was so played out that it was like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Yeah,
because everybody that I knew that said it was fake as fuck. Okay. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna let them say it. I'm not gonna like put my 2 cents in it, because maybe they're faking it till they make it. And then when I realized that wasn't the case, I was like, I'm done with fake it till you make it, because you will never get there. Because once you've already lied to yourself enough that you're already there, there's really no work behind actually getting there. So when you're so defensive over what someone else is doing, then the problem is you.
Yeah.
When you get triggered by what someone else is saying, the problem is you. When you're able to hold yourself accountable and stop bitching and complaining about what someone else is doing outside of you, look at yourself and say, why am I always complaining about this person? Why does everything this person do annoy me? This person has always been this person. Now all of a sudden, it's really getting on my nerves. Well, you know what? You're the fucking problem. Point blank, period. Okay? Because if you can't admit, am I letting this person, and it doesn't matter how close you are or how you haven't seen each other in a while. Doesn't matter if you're blood related or down the street neighbors. It doesn't matter. What matters is you got to stop and ask yourself, why am I so bothered? I'm the problem. I have some deep down jealousy, insecurities. I feel threatened that they have more power than me. You know, your scenarios that you're creating in your head is making this person out to be the bad guy, when in actuality, instead of creating that, you need to start lifting yourself like a tight pair of jeans that you need to squeeze over your ass. That's the work you got to put into yourself. So when you hear yourself talking about somebody that has never really done anything to you, you're criticizing somebody for how they've always been or who they are, and you're getting frustrated. Look in the mirror, because you're only frustrating yourself. You're only letting yourself down by criticizing outside of yourself, because the real work is inside. So the badass Buddha, I love the way she explains things. Sometimes I try to be all whatever, but it's not me. And sometimes I may be too much for you, but I'm always enough for myself. It's like I got 3 friends and I'm happy with it, because people can or cannot tolerate it. The bottom line is, fix you before you try to prioritize anybody else's life. It'll save you energy. It'll never put a bitter taste in your mouth, because you are being loving towards yourself and accepting. Remember, meet everybody where they're at and then organize them accordingly. You go to the back of the room, you know what? You ain't nothing but love and inspiration. You're in the VIP section. You go up to the nosebleed section, because I just can't deal with it. Doesn't mean you have to cut them off. What it means is you need to organize your life. You want to talk about how organized you are, writing everything down, checking it off as you go along, but you're not on that list. So all you do is bitch and moan and complain about everybody around you. When, mamita, you're that little apple that's gone bad, ready to... No, you have to pour light into yourself before you can expect anybody to notice your grandeur. And stop complaining. In the new year, just see everybody for who they are, and then decide, is this my place or not? That's your power that you never allowed yourself to come into, because you're too worried about what they may think or say. And if you don't believe it, then why are you still stuck where you are? El que dirán. Oh, but they need me. No, you need you. When you decide to show up for yourself in full color, then you can be there 100% for those around you. But you got to show up for you first. So nobody needs you. Everybody will pick up and walk away into their life. And you're going to be there like, oh, I gave up so many years because they needed me. And then what? No, you need you. You. Start showing up for you. Get rid of those granny panties. That's old. It's time to bring in the new you, the new sexy. And the new sexy, like I said in the beginning, could be just putting on that red matted lipstick, which is my favorite. So that's why I'm saying it. Or if you want to wear lip gloss, whatever it is, you can start with something like that.
Or no underwear. If you don't want to wear underwear.
Yeah, commando style.
Here's a fun thing to do. Look, if you're going to go shopping this weekend, you're going to go to the mall, go into Victoria's Secret, go into the store, and just look around. And what do you notice when you're in there? Yes, it's expensive.
Skinny people.
Let's not worry about that.
That's what I noticed.
But no, you know what's interesting is they're smart. They finally smartened up, because they started to.
Yes, I saw the mannequin.
They started to cater to people that are bigger.
I saw the mannequin.
But go in there and look around, and you see there's different stuff. Like, you have lacy stuff, you have satin stuff, silky stuff, you have regular stuff. But there's so many choices. Why are there so many choices? Because we all have different tastes. It represents us differently. You know, when go in there and feel the material, like put it against your skin, put the different colors against your skin. and say to yourself, do I like this? Is this pretty? Like, does this represent me? And if you find something in there that represents you, or go to any other area where it's intimate apparel. It could be at J.C. Penney for all I care. I don't care. It could be Macy's, wherever. But go there and look and say, what represents me? And buy yourself a new pair of panties. Like, just buy it. Like, say, this represents me. I like this. I like to be comfortable. So, I'm going to go with the cotton stuff. Okay, fine. But one thing I've learned about myself is that I have multiple personalities in that sense. Like, I have sexy stuff. I have really pretty thongs that I have purchased, whether it's from Victoria's Secret or some other place. But I also have those cotton panties that I bought from like Walmart in the 6-pack, the fruit because
getting too expensive.
But the thing is, I work in the yard and I'm doing stuff that like is very physically active. I'm sweating a lot. I'm not going to wear my really sexy, Victoria's Secret thongs. Why am I going to do that? So but what I do is I'll put those on. I'll put the granny panties on, work in the yard, shower. And then if I go out somewhere, then I put the sexy stuff on. But they all represent me. And this is the thing. It's like, I know this. I'm not going to wear something that does not make sense to me or is uncomfortable to do a job. Like, if I'm going to go hiking, I don't want to wear thongs. That's not going to work, So, but the whole point is I know, because I've learned about myself. I learned what works for me and what represents me the best. I've been sick for the last couple of days. Those cotton granny panties have been fantastic because I've been in bed and I've been in my pajamas or sweatpants. So go out and explore yourself, show up for your holiday parties dressed in the way that represents you. If it really throws people off, who cares? If they say, wow, look at you, then you're on the right course. If they say, wow, what are you wearing?
You're still on the right course.
That's right. You're still on the right course.
Because some people just ain't got no style. And your style is your style. Because I'll be damned. How many times you done seen me when I wore my 2 pigtails when my hair was long? I always wear my diamonds, no matter what colors they are, on my face. I wear hats. I wear scarves. I do me. And let me tell you, I love that the Badass Buddha says, for her, she's going to go out into the yard in her cotton panties because she wants to be comfortable. But I saw these videos. I've been watching these videos. I don't know where the lady's from because the houses look like they were thrown up together with mud, but she's really working it. And she works putting cabinets up, painting the floor in her heels and her jeans. And I don't know what I don't know if it's a Spanish or I don't know. But the thing is that learn who the hell you are. What do you like? It's like she said earlier, or no panties. So you can be commando style, you can be thong style, you can be satin with that little crochet stuff. You can be just 6-pack Walmart cotton panties, Victoria's Secrets. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you know that you want to look and feel sexy no matter what it is that you're doing. Whether you know you're going to lounge all day and you're going to wear these big pajamas and you're going to be with the thick socks, but you still want to feel like, yeah, I lost that 10 pounds and look at me, I'm in the house all day. Put that thong on. Twitch it, baby. Do what it is that makes you happy. In the world that we live in today, it's like we all are following the masses when the M is silent. And then you wonder why you feel empty, why you don't feel that self-love, why you can't find true love. And it's all questions in your head, but you're not presently standing there, taking off your rose-colored glasses and looking around and seeing things for what they really are. Because when you decide to do that, it always brings you back to you because you are the yellow motherfucking brick road. Okay? And if you can't say, I'm going to fall, I'm going to meet heartless people, mindless people. What's the other one? One didn't have a heart, one didn't have a mind. What did the other one have? I don't know.
Courage.
Courage. You're going to meet all kinds of people, but you have to own all of that. And sometimes you don't know what you are capable of doing until you meet people of that caliber. So that's what taking out the old. Stop living and stop driving on the same crowded lane, you know? When you mind who you are, there's no traffic in your lane. Because there's nobody like you.
You said that before, and I really like that saying. When you mind who you are, there's no traffic in your lane. I like that. That's very true.
It is. But it's like when you want to go with the masses, when you're insecure about who you are, what your true value is, what you're capable of doing, what your brilliance is, every day will seem like 3 years ago before the pandemic. It'll be like that Black Friday after Thanksgiving where everybody is just like a bunch of ants running in, trying to grab things out of other people's hands because it's a sale. When you lose yourself, that's what happens. So even if it's little by little, step by step, we don't expect you to jump. We took our time getting here. How's that sexy speedo?
That's perfect, Edith. I was just thinking about Jay too. I was just thinking about, we're sitting here talking about going to this Victoria's Secret. Listen, Jay, if you want to go to Victoria's Secret, by all means, figure out which underwear is the best underwear for you.
And wear it proudly, Papa.
No judgment.
But yeah, so it's, you know, we've all been there. The Badass Buddha shares tells you how to go about certain things because that's how it took her to learn how to get there, as well as myself. And, you know, nobody lives a perfect life. Nobody lives a straight and narrow life, you know, but I'd rather have the ups and downs. Ain't no valley high. Wait, ain't no mountain high. Ain't no valley low. Because no matter what happens, you're going to get to where you're supposed to get to if you're determined to be there. But if you've already given up and you filled yourself with sorry ass excuses, well, because when I was little, or because when I was younger, or because when I gave all my love and he cheated, or because of this or because of that. So where's your power? Everybody, you were a puppet in everybody else's story. And now you're sitting here still having life within you, still having the opportunity to choose, to intentionally choose to grow and be the best version of yourself you can ever be, and you're still blaming people. Or I have trust issues because, or I don't believe in that because, so you're still not, you're still pieces of them.
Let it go.
So you have to say, no más.
Did you go into your drawer? Did you go into your drawer after Tuesday's show and look at your underwear and take out the ones with the holes in them? You know, we all have them. That happens, you know, it happens. And we're like, no, I really like, they're so comfortable. It's not that big of a hole. I'll just keep it. And I'll just keep it. And then all of a sudden there's another one after the next wash cycle. And the underwear is screaming to you, please, for the love of God, retire me. Just throw me out. I'm done. I have covered your ass and your hoo-ha for enough time. Please just throw me out. And you almost, you know, you got to feel bad for it. It served its purpose. So just get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And here's like another thing. If you buy the underwear, if you buy new underwear, you ever do this? You bought underwear and you go to put it on and you don't like the way it fits. And you're like, well, just keep it anyway, you know, just in case. Throw it out. I don't care if you spent money on it. I mean, if you can bring it back, great. Not a lot of them don't allow it, but or wash it and donate it, because I've done that myself. I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this one. And again, not fully knowing, you know, like I've learned over the years that I could really only use a specific types of underwear. Like I cannot stand the bikinis, like bikinis, and my fupa hangs over. And it's like I either have to wear
Rose.
long or briefs. Like it's like one or the other. Like the bikini just does not work for me because I always feel like I want to pull it up higher. Like I don't, or the low cut ones, those don't work for me. I always feel like they're falling. So you've got to get what works best for you. I don't like stuff that's satin because I like a stretch, and they make really beautiful nowadays sexy underwear that stretches. So
Yes.
you could, it's all out there. The point is that there's choices. That's what we're trying to say to you, is that as you discover who you are, don't be be unapologetic about it. Like, this is who I am. And if it's not already out there for me, I'm going to create it. Why do you think there's so many choices out there? Why do you think there's so many different, like, how many times are you on Instagram or Facebook and you're scrolling stuff and then an advertisement pops up for like these these cinching underwear, like not Spanx, but another brand. Oh, this is better than Spanx. Why would somebody have invented something to compete with Spanx when Spanx was doing so well? Because they looked at it and said, I could do better because I don't like this about that product. So they created something else that was better. They have
Mm-hmm.
got some really, like, they have underwear out now that is specifically for women who menstruate, so you don't have to wear a pad. It's menstruation underwear. They have underwear for people that have incontinence because it was, nobody wanted to wear a diaper. Nobody wanted to wear something bulky. They're like, no, I want to be able to walk around like a normal person. And so it became something. Somebody said, this isn't fair. We shouldn't have to dress this way. Like, how many years ago, right? How about this one? Back in the 70s, maybe even 80s, when you were a big person, you really didn't have a lot of choice for clothes. Like, you just had certain styles, and that was that.
And they were all patterns.
Because they're like, why bother? We want to cater to the people who are thinner. Well, bigger people got tired of that and said, I'm not wearing that crap anymore. I'm going to wear something that represents me. I'm sexy the way I am, and I want to flaunt my body. So you go into these stores now with bigger clothes, and they have clothes that are gorgeous. They're sexy. They have lingerie for big women because we decided that doesn't represent me.
No
Those
más.
clothes don't represent me. So if you don't make them, I'm going to make them myself. And so this is where you have to walk out and say today, this is who I am. If you don't like it, I really don't care. What your opinion of me is none of my business. I don't care. But this is who I am. And here's the interesting thing. When you're learning about yourself, you still might not get it right. You might go down one path and be like, this is who I am right now. As I am, I feel this way. And then you grow a little bit more, and then you're like, okay, well, that wasn't me. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, because that's part of the growth. And if some dumbass comes and says to you, oh, well, you were this, and then you did this, and now you're this, you say, that's right. That's right. Because this is who I am. Like, when I went through my transformation, I was very frumpy. I dressed very frumpy. I did not want anybody to see my body. I wasn't happy with my body. I just wanted to blend into the walls. Then I lost the weight. I became single. I was like, getting more up, about myself, feeling better about myself. And I started to dress really sexy. I started to buy very sexy clothes. Then I said, that's great, but what I really feel, I'm more boho. I'm more of that boho type of look. But I'm also not very hippie boho. I'm more sexy boho. And that's what I landed on. I landed on more, I like more boho looks, but with a little sex appeal, and I could be boho one day, like completely, or I could be a little on the sexier side. But I don't have to wear these like really sexy, like tight clothes, because that doesn't represent me. But it did for a short period until I came into who I am. And I like where I landed. I mean, I like wearing that style, but it takes time. And again, don't worry about what other people have to say on your journey. This is your journey. It's not theirs. So screw that.
Mm-hmm. And your journey must be lived truthfully. Your style, try as many styles as you can that pique your interest until you discover which one is yours. Because not a lot of people know off rip that they're boho, that they're gypsy, that they're layered. I'm the queen of layering. And anybody who knows me knows when they see me in Connecticut in the fall, in the early spring, and in the winter, I knew somebody that would come up to me just to count how many layers I had on, but you would never know it. And the thing is that because, what was she going back real quick, a recap what she said about the underwear? Lo que no sirve se bota. What's no longer serving you, you must eliminate. And that goes for every draw in your life, not just your panty draw. And to discover who you are, and if you're doing it at this season in your life, yay! I applaud you. You know why? Because you restarted. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try it again and again. The only time that you should give up trying is when you're no longer a part of this earth. The day you stop breathing is the day you stop trying to be better for yourself. So there's no cap. There's no age limit. There's no size group. If you love who you are, exactly where you are, then you have a better focal point as to where you want to be. So don't let society tell you that unless you're weighing this amount of weight, you're no good. We've been told that forever.
Yes.
Now, when you love who you are, where you are at, and then you start working on eating correctly, and you realize you're not as bloated anymore. You don't feel uncomfortable. And then 3-4 days later, you're noticing that the shirts are hanging a little different. The pajamas are a little loose. Like, did I wear these yesterday? They stretched out? No, I washed them. And then you start realizing that you're loving your body. Thank you. Oh my God, look at us. We're getting good. You all become excited. But you got to acknowledge where you are and who you are, and don't let nobody on the outside tell you you need to be this, you should be that. Because then again, you become a puppet.
Yeah.
So what? You gain weight. Wow. Now the next thing is, are you going to stay there or are you going to do something about it?
Right.
That's the scale, okay?
Exactly.
It's your choice. And because I don't want to lose weight because I feel I don't look good. I want to lose weight because I want to feel good. And that's where I've been. And let me tell you something. When you like finally commit and I'm in Florida at my niece's house, and she's like, oh, do you want a grilled cheese? Or do you want this? Or do you want that? And of course you want to say yeah. And when I say no, I'm good. And I'm like, oh my God, like that was no effort. That was commitment. And every day, you're not going to do perfect. You're going to mess up. No matter if it's a new job, beginning a new trade, whether you're starting to walk a mile every day and then today, all of a sudden, you only did 45 minutes. It's okay. Because you got up and you initiated whatever it is you were going to do. The badass Buddha, like she said, she's full of mucus, phlegm in the morning. But what she do? She said, I'm not going to come up looking like a truck ran me over. I'm going to put these pearls on. I'm going to put my Roaring 20s hat and I'm going to make it work. And she did. Because what happened? Because she knew that she's not feeling well. Yeah. Oh, I hate ham, Georgianne. And let me tell you a brief story before we go. In Europe, they love pork. They love ham. I ordered a cheeseburger in Portugal. They slid that slice of ham there. I'm like, what the hell? I'm in this nice restaurant in Santiago de Compostela, an Italian restaurant. I ordered a slice of lasagna. I think Petey ordered, I don't know what Petey. Petey, tell me what you ordered. And right in the center of the lasagna, in an Italian restaurant where the waiter spoke Italian, they've had a slice of ham in there. And I'm like, Maron, I don't even eat ham at home. You know, and it's ever so often that I eat pelnin because it looks different than a ham. But yeah, but grilled cheese, and then you know what I love? How she makes it the way I love it, where all the edges of the bread are crunchy. You know? But it's the saying, no, I'm good. Thank you. And then smiling as I'm heading wherever it is I'm going. Does it work every day? Am I strong like that every day? Of course not. You know why? Marianelas, Spain's in the house, Ramona. No. And that's the beauty of checking yourself. Not someone telling you what to do, but you knowing what you must do to be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's all we talked about since the beginning of the year. It's who the hell are you? Who are you really? And when someone says, hey, and you are, and I can say, I am La Margarita. I am the gladiator guru. Besitos a ti. And, you know, and well, what do you do? And I create, you know, and I have that in the coffee book. And, you know, how does that pay? It provides me freedom. How do you survive? I drink coffee and I laugh a lot. Because when I do those things, this starts churning. And then I start creating, whether it's with a pen, a paintbrush, or just getting my hands in on something. And everybody has those gifts. I'm not special. I'm not the chosen one. Pronto espero darte un abrazo de verdad. Sí, nos vemos en Santiago. Yeah, she works in one of the hostels we stayed at in Santiago. That we stayed like for 7 days at. So the bottom line is, mi gente, out with the old. So what? Who you were yesterday? If you were weak, if you were pathetic, if you were insecure, if you just leaned on everybody to fill you with that happiness and joy that you need, none of that's gonna work. Let it go. Because are you pathetic? No. But are you behaving in that manner? Maybe if you're not getting up doing your own shit. When you decide to say, no mas, this is what I want and this is how I need to achieve it, guess what? People are going to come into your life. And those people are going to tell you and guide you. And you're not going to want to hear it every day. And you're not going to want to follow their advice because they've been there, done that, even on the motherfucking t-shirt. And you're going to be resistant because I don't want you to tell me what to do. Who are you to tell me what to do? You don't even know what I'm going through. Oh, yeah. Well, how was the last 5 years of your life? When you wasn't even in control of nothing. I'm trying to guide you. I'm not controlling you. And see, we bring that past experience because we don't hold ourselves accountable to our own actions. And as to why we're still stuck in whatever.
Well, and that's the big $1 million question, because you just made me think of something. The question is, do you really want to take accountability of your life? Do you really want to step into your own? Because it is so much easier to blame everybody else for your good and your bad. It's so much easier because when you don't take responsibility, you like taking accountability means you have to take accountability for all of it. We always like to take accountability only for the good in our lives. It's just like a gambler. You know, a gambler will say, they'll always talk about their winnings, but they will never talk about how much money they've actually lost. And a lot of times it's more money. If they total up the amount, they've lost more than they've actually gained. So we do that. It's very natural. So we're not trying to make you feel bad. That's just the way it is. That's just how people are. But we're trying to say to you is enough already. Like stop. But here's the piece that you need to own. If you want to be that person that is not accountable, then stay that way and just shut up and stay the heck away from us. Because that's what I'm saying. It's like if you want to complain about everybody else and not make any effort on your own part, even though you know this, even though we've said it or other people have said it, and you refuse to step into your own truth and keep living that lie, then do it. But do it with other people. Because I've been around those people way too much in my lifetime, and I don't want to be around those people anymore. And because it's exhausting, it zaps your energy for those of us that want to move forward. And I'm still working on that. So I know that I can also be an energy zapper of other people who are even beyond me. So I have to be very mindful of that. I have to look at it and say, when I'm not in a great place, why am I not in a great place? Why am I starting to feel sorry for myself? Why am I complaining about this or that? What am I avoiding in my life? And it, I guess sometimes it's exhausting sometimes. Last couple of days, I haven't had the energy. Just thinking about it today, going, I've lost 2 days of stuff that I have to get ready for all these, people that are coming to visit. But it's like, okay, just get yourself back, and rest a little bit, and then revamp, recuperate, and then reorganize, and then reset yourself, and just do it. But if you want to play the victim, then do it. But don't pull the people in that don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Don't infect me with that toxic energy.
Exactly. And for those of you that don't want to be around people like that, you need to not be around people like that. Either you have to tell them, or you just quietly pull yourself out and say, I don't want to be, part of those people anymore. I mean, there's a lot of people that I've just written off over the years. And I thought about it. I'm like, is it cruel? And I'm like, you know what? I don't hate these people. They're just not the people that I want to hang out with anymore. There's really nothing in common. I wish the best. I wish them all the best, including the people that I used to be close to, even family members. I wish them the best. They're just not the people that I want to hang out with for many reasons, because I don't feel that when I'm around them, I'm the best representation of myself, and I catch myself. So I want to keep moving forward and let them live their lives. I don't want anything to do with them. And what they do is none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that I make it my business when I'm around those people. So you do you. It's fine. You do you. I want to do me. Leave me alone. I don't care about what your opinion is about me either. And I'm going to live my life. And if I live it well, yay, if I still make well, you know how I feel about mistakes. They're very few. If I still make poor choices, if I don't learn from that, then they're poor choices.
Yeah.
But if I learned from it, then they were great life lessons.
Yes. And hold yourself accountable. No te engañes. Don't lie to yourself that it's everybody else. Yes. Because, it's very disheartening to someone else who knows your story. So when you're lying to yourself, you're putting a bitter taste in their mouth. Because that means you're not trying to be better after all the conversations y'all don't have. So I've never questioned, was I rude when I had to walk away from people? I simply just didn't show up anymore. Yes. And I was invited, and I graciously say, I thank you for inviting me. But I know you're not coming, but I appreciate you inviting me, because that's a form of respect too. Don't get mad at the messenger. Sometimes they know you're not going to come, but they'll invite you. And then it's up to you sometimes just to hold your ground. I would love to go, but I'm not. Just have a good time. Send me pictures. And that's what I recently said to someone very close to me who was getting married and had a little reception. Because although it's his house and it was them that I love, the invitees were just too much. And I don't need that. Because I can go from 0 to 60 in a heartbeat and just rip your throat out. And I don't want to go back to who I am. Not go back. I don't want to bring her out because I'm in a different space right now. So I purposely avoid people, places, and things. And if I cannot, then I sit back quietly and I observe and I listen to everything else their body and mannerisms are saying. And then I get up and say bye-bye now. Because I don't need to argue with everybody. And you don't need to accept everybody's cruel words. So you got to decide, listen, I am not the gladiator guru for no reason. That name comes from my life. The gladiators back in the Roman times were abducted from their farmers' land because they had the built. And they were forced to fight in, what is it called?
Oh, in
the arena.
Yeah.
But it's called something else. And then the spectators, whether rich or poor, enjoying people getting ripped apart by animals that were put in there or stabbed to death by another gladiator. So some gladiators lasted several of these fights because they learned. They watched others fighting. They watched how their opponent fought. And they learned, and while they were in captivity, they stretched their bodies. They went beyond. And every time they went out there, they came back into that cave and got chained up. But they lived another day. They lived another day. And the true gladiator isn't one that makes excuses. A true gladiator isn't one that holds on to what the hell happened to her in her childhood. And a woe is me, and I can't trust nobody, and I can't love nobody, and nobody loves me, and I'm never good, so I got to people please. That's not a gladiator. Gladiator is like, damn, I'm a badass. I came out of all of that in pain with a bleeding heart because it hurts. But I got to keep going because obviously if I survived all of that, I got a purpose. So then you do it and you do it and you get better. And a guru is because I read and I listened and I sat with elders and I questioned my family about my ancestors and I learned and I studied and I practiced. And guess what? I'm not no Socrates or Plato, but I'm the gladiator guru. So come see about me. Because if I trust anybody, I trust me. If I believe in anybody, I believe in me. I gave life to 2 children. And let me tell you mothers out there. Hola, milagros. Do you know flamingos? Beautiful pink flamingos, right? This is what I learned recently. You're going to see really bright pink flamingos. And then you're going to see flamingos that are light pink, maybe pastel pink. Anybody? You, Buddha? Anybody? I learned is when you see flamingos and you see the dark Barbie pink flamingos, they're like, ooh, and they're so beautiful and blah, blah. And then you see pink lemonade flamingo that it's getting more lemon than pink, right? That's when you know who's the mama and who hasn't had children yet. The mama loses her vibrancy colors as she feeds, nurtures, and raises her children. How many of us, our mother's bones are in our daughter's bodies right now. When we are pregnant, we lose a lot, right? For the love of them. So we have given and given time and time again. And they're grown now and they're growing. And all we can do is plant the seed of what's right and what's wrong. And then we got to carry on with us. We got to carry ourselves until our last breath. That's out with the old of thinking. You cannot move on until your children are married or in college or whatever have you. You can move on along with your child because your child is so excited to learn. And you are taking baby steps and relearning who you are.
Hey,
make your family affair.
Good morning. My cousin Melissa came on.
Melissa Pfeiffer.
Yeah, my cousin Melissa came on. And Sarah, good morning. Oh my goodness. I was just talking about your dad, Melissa, right at the beginning of the show.
And Iris said turkey's in the house with Nidal. Hi, Nidal. So out with the old, in with the sexy, your secrets. I love the analogy that Badass said. If you go to the mall, just walk into Victoria's. It smells delicious in there. So you're not losing anything. I think their bras are uncomfortable and overpriced. But hey, go in. They did. I did. When I was in there not too long ago, I saw the plus size mannequin. And I was like, wow, this is impressive. A bit too late. So not because now they're in competition with a lot of other people. Yeah. So you know what? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Strength comes from how deep are you willing to venture into yourself and pull out that courage? Yeah. Do you have the strength to discover your courage? That's a question only you can answer. And if you don't want to do the work and I pop up like slut magic and say something that's going to trigger you and be offensive, that's your issue, not mine. Figure it out. We're all pieces of art of kintsugi. We've all been broken. And you got to choose whether you left that little ear limp or you melted down whatever gold you had and masterpieced your art into a divine, something that you can look
And
at.
we got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to the end of the year for you to really step into. Don't get distracted with all the gifts you're going to buy and everything that
I
you're
ain't
going
buying
to
shit.
all the parties that you're going to go to and host or whatever. Make sure you take time for you so that you are walking into the new year knowing who you are already, not discovering it in the new year. That was the whole point of this whole year's big long like coaching session, right? So the next time we talk, Gladiator Guru will be speaking from Spain,
Madrid.
So we will. That'll be very exciting. We'll be happy to see where she is, and hopefully the connection will be great, so that she can.
It should be.
A little bit.
The only time it shouldn't be great is after New Year's when I'm trapezing through the snow for 500 miles. But I got my camera ready. So I will be vlogging on my YouTube, Moments con Margarita. I don't know if we have it up here in the banners. Let me see, or the brand.
I don't think we have the link, but
yep, right here. Moments con Margarita. It's my YouTube channel, right? And we can get rid of that. How do you get rid of that? So that's where I'm going to be vlogging, right? So, and I'm going to be doing my little holiday. I'm going to finally say, I'm on holiday, darling, because I will be on holiday through Madrid and then with Marianela Ramona in Santiago de Compostela. And then right after New Year's, we're starting our 500-mile winter Camino Frances, and you will be joining Las Boricuas because I've encountered, this will be my third Camino. I've encountered one Puerto Rican on last year's Camino and one Puerto Rican on the previous in 2017, and that was at the end. And I know we're out there, but we're not like on display, so of course I got to make it happen. So follow me on that YouTube, Moments con Margarita, and sashay your ass into the new year.
Yep.
Whether you're wearing thongs, cotton briefs, no briefs, whether you got that satin silk skirt, it doesn't matter. The red lipstick, it doesn't matter if you're rolling in to the new year in your
pajamas. Just get it to represent you.
Just do it to where your comfort level is at its peak, and you know that there is nothing you cannot conquer that is not meant for you. So,
all right.
Thank you for staying later with us.
Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Safe travels up north and safe travels to Europe, Gladiator Guru. And we'll see you guys. We'll see everybody on Tuesday. So thanks for the Badass Buddha. Remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out that bullshit. Namaste.